It's me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And a very happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. How you doing?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are the Bama Geeks, and we have one of our favorite people in the entire world joining us once again, finally, after a few months of playing Where's Gary? There he is. Right
If
there.
you've been wondering, where is Gary? He's right here. We've got him.
He's picking blueberries.
This episode, Guy Fieri has Triple D. This is Bama Geeks Triple G. We've talked Goonies and Grease, and we got Gary.
That's right.
That's right. Triple G.
Yeah. So we are thrilled that you're here tonight with us. We thank you so much for joining us. And we already got, look at Skylar. Skylar Davis. Happy Father's Day to y'all. Thank you, Skylar.
Thank you, Skylar.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, it's been a really good Father's Day, and it's been relaxing. I've got my son here with us. My daughter, this is the very first year that I do not have my daughter with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really missed her, but she FaceTimed today from Boston. She's in Boston for the summer. She's in college now, so she has spread her wings.
That's right. The little bird is flying. Flapping her little wings,
flying everywhere. She hit a lot of major cities. We had her at the beginning of May. We had her in New York.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately went to London after that, and then once she got back from London, she was right into Boston for the summer. So, But I hope you all are having a great Father's Day if you're out there watching. Really quickly, as always, as we open up the show. Hit the website, BamaGeeks.com. That's where you can find out all about us. We've got all the audio episodes, all the video episodes, blog posts. If you want to be a guest on Bama Geeks, we've got a sign-up form there that'll notify us that you want to be on the podcast. We've also got ways that you can support us, BamaGeeks.com/join. If you want to become either a Patreon member or if you want to become a YouTube channel member, all that info is right there. And of course, you can always find us on social media at Bama Geeks everywhere. And if you are on that book of face, then look us up, the Bama Geeks Front Porch. Just search for that, ask to join, and we'll let you in there. And of course, thank you so much to our top channel supporters, Jamie and Mike and Darnay and Jack. They have been with us for since almost pretty much the beginning, for over 4 years.
Day one.
Yeah. Day one, Oos.
That's right.
Yep. So,
pretty much since the point where we figured out how to take money from people.
That's
when they started. Well, I mean, we started before that, but Mark said that. Should we really be taking money from people? Yes, we should.
It's always yes.
Well, and the good news is we don't take a lot. So hey.
You guys, thank you for your long-term support of the podcast, and thank you so much.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate it. And while we're here tonight, like I said, we've got Gary W. Jones. He's the house organist from the Alabama Theater, that gorgeous 98-year-old theater in downtown Birmingham. So we are going to be celebrating 100 years before you know it.
Yeah.
Already planning.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're a couple of folks had talked about doing, just a big gala type thing, and I think we're not going to do that. I think what we're going to do is just an entire year, a year-long celebration. And do a lot of different things, which I'm very, very excited, because we've talked about a few things already, and every one of them is just more exciting than the other. And so details will be coming out about that. I'd love for us to do like what I would call a grand patron package where you could just come to everything.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be for some ungodly amount of money. So $17-$18, I don't know.
I mean,
So
I've got
save
an
up
empty
now.
credit card. I mean,
Gary, can we be on the red carpet doing the interviews?
Yeah.
oh,
Can we be pressed? Can we be red carpet press?
that way? I mean, but before in our member episode, we had to go through several layers of backing down Bo because Bo is like larger than life. Okay, if we have him on the red carpet, we can let him go. He will be totally.
I'll go Joan Rivers on you in a heartbeat.
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Oh, you look good.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
so
98
basically in
years. Yeah, go ahead.
2027, you're going to be living at the theater pretty much. You got a bed situated there. You're going to be there just pretty much all the time.
First of all, I already am. Second of all, you laugh. You laugh. I actually do have a bed there.
Hey,
That's good.
Doesn't
though.
surprise
Don't
me.
doubt
I'm not laughing. That's awesome.
And,
That's good.
It comes in handy at the most weird times. You would think it would be Christmas, and it's really not. It generally gets it's most used during sidewalk because sidewalk is such a big thing for them, of course, but for us because we're they're. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. They're wrapping up at 12, 1, 2 in the morning and they're back at 6 a.m.
Right.
And it might not be the same people, but for us, it is the same people. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because you got your accommodations there when you need
accommodations. There's dressing rooms and showers, and that helps. And there are some what I call hidey holes throughout the building where you can get better rest. It's noisy downtown at night. It really is.
Yeah.
Fire trucks and ambulances going through, and just the sounds of the streets.
Oh yeah.
And you would think in that big building you could get you still hear all the creaks and groans of the building and
those ghosts that walk around, right?
No, just the one.
Just the one, yeah.
Makes me tell you that great line from Blues Brothers. It goes by so often you won't even notice.
oh. Well, speaking of old movies, we're going to talk about the summer film series, which is experiencing a heavily reduced schedule this summer. So we'll talk about that and talk about why it's heavily reduced. What's going to be happening this summer at the Alabama Theater. If you've never been to the Alabama Theater, we highly encourage you to go. This place is one of all of our favorite places. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely gorgeous. And like we said, it's going to be celebrating its 100th anniversary coming up in just less than 2 years now. And if you got any questions for Gary while we're here, drop them in the chat. If there's anything you want to know about the Alabama Theater, I'm sure he'll tell you, what he can.
I'll make it up.
Hey, look. If it comes down to it, I have a wild theory about the upgrades to Big Bertha. Okay, I have a very wild theory. All right, you guys want to hear my wild theory?
Yes,
I do. Are you ready? I honestly, Gary will not admit to this, but I think that they sent Bertha off and they've been doing the upgrades to the Alabama Theater so that when it comes time for the celebration, Bertha can shoot fireworks. See, look at him. See. Yeah. Not just sparklers, fellas. The full big ones. All right.
Look,
Like this
Thunder
Bill from
on
Joe
the Mountain ain't got nothing on this, right?
Like Little Edie, Big Bertha. I will tell you this. As many folks know, we did send the console off for some much needed upgrades, and we cobbled a temporary console. Did anybody see the temporary console?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And so that temporary console was, not ornate, very plain, 3 manuals, not 4, but it certainly did the job, and it got us through everything. The great thing about the multiplexing relay is it doesn't care how many consoles you have. So we are planning something for mid-January of 2026 to where we'll feature two consoles. Both will be connected, each independent of the other. They will each independently control everything. And that's getting prepared now, meaning, in fact, I talked to one of the artists today when I was in the middle of shopping at Aldi.
Yes.
So,
good call.
it's like, please pardon me while I'm here in the Aldi Isle of Shame and we talk to this international artist. But anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun, and that's January 17th, 2026. It's almost 100% confirmed, and it'll be a show like no other because it's a rarity that you get. You can have 2 consoles controlling one big instrument.
Nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that is
Bertha's back. Fireworks loaded.
That's right.
See, confirmed. There we go.
Those swing out trays. There's a launch button. So
yeah, I mean,
Oh, cool.
Gary may never fire them off, but you guys know he confirmed it here.
I could.
Exactly.
I just choose not to.
Yeah.
Here
we go.
So-
I would say, without any fireworks, my favorite thing about Big Bertha is even before you play your first note, that initial, just that.
That hum.
You hear it warming up.
It's the beast coming to life. I love it.
So part of the recent upgrades, the original blower is still there, the original Spencer Orga blow in the basement, and a wonderful gentleman came down and did some reconfiguring of the fan blades, and so now she is just super powerful, super quiet, but you still get that. There's a please help me with the correct terminology. When you press the button, it's not just on; it has to build up to speed. Now, there's a term for that. What is it?
Winding up?
Well, no.
It's got to build RPMs.
Yeah.
Acceleration?
It's a technical device and a technical term that causes that to happen. And just
electricity? Sorry.
It'll come to me. We're going to get 20 minutes into this, and I go, No, but anyway, it's a slow start, and that way it's not kind of jerking everything into place. But that whole I need to go down there and record that whole power up sequence because it's very Star Trek-ish, very Enterprise. That wind up, and it's beautiful.
I imagined it was like Marty powering up the big speaker in Back to the Future. Where you just click, 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 click.
So Shane
goes up to 11.
Shane says pressurizing.
Well, that's what it's doing, but there's a technical term for the process and the machinery involved in, because we have the same machinery and the same process when we were turning on the fan, the recirculating fan for the building. Oh, dang it! I hate when these things
Priming.
No, I hate when these things escape my brain, and it's happening more frequently than it should now, and I'm very distressed.
I'm sorry, Gary. We don't speak pipe organ or HVAC here.
Anyway, that's a great sound and a great feeling because it pressurizes the room as well because it's just pulling all that air to get it into the system. And so, Bo, I'm with you. That's a great sound.
So is a colonoscopy?
Everyone, step away from the microwave and drink this. It's a slow start, and Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to dwell on it, but it's a great sound. I'll record it and send it to you guys.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens in reverse when you turn it off. It winds itself down, so it's not just so abrupt.
Right.
But oh my goodness, I would venture to say 99.5% of the people can't tell when that blower is running, and I can walk in the front door and go, "Oh, who has the organ on?"
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
That would be a great like TikTok post or something like that. I haven't been on TikTok in forever, but like if you just did like, you don't even have to do like the full screen, but like a shot of like your hands turning on all the stuff, and then all of a sudden you just hear it. You just hear the sound, and then you just like hit the organ, and it just like makes the sound, and then you're like, "Hey, intro, come to the Alabama Theater," something like that. Because I mean, honestly. My first experience at the Alabama Theater all those years ago, that's what sold me was the organ. Nothing else there. Everything else there is a background noise to the organ. And you would not believe the amount of people I talk to that don't realize that the Alabama Theater has an organ. They have no idea.
Well, our dear Glennie Brock says that Big Bertha is the engine that drives that block. It drives the theater, rescued the theater, and then subsequently allowed for the road to be paved for the Lyric Theater across the street. And if that organ had not been saved, then
we would not be sitting. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about all this today.
No, I'd be out picking other crops. I don't know. I'm teasing about this, but it's true. We have a huge blueberry empire here.
Mobland here with blueberries.
It's Willy Wonka-ish in perspective. But you would be amazed at how many blueberries can be grown in the state of Alabama, and we are just. I was out this morning because it rained yesterday afternoon. I was out this morning at 6:20 a.m. and it took me 2.5 hours to pick this run. Wednesday we'll pick again. It'll be the same thing, and it's buckets and buckets and buckets of blueberries. And so if anybody needs blueberries, yell.
And if you want to pick blueberries, get with Gary. He'll put you on schedule.
You on the schedule. Yeah.
I mean, it rhymes. If you want to pick some blueberries, get with Gary.
Kevin's got a whole marketing thing going.
I
got the marketing brain tonight.
You pick, you haul off. So we have gone. Boy, have we gone like this?
That's the show, man.
100 years. Organ blower. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blueberries.
Yes.
Hey.
That's Bama Geeks. We go all over the place.
Yeah.
We kind of describe ourselves. I mean, you've been on the show a couple of times, Gary. We got to describe ourselves as like the old guys who sit at Waffle House, or Hardee's or whatever, sitting down talking about stuff. We're just all over the place. That's how it is. Yeah.
It's Jack's.
And we've got Jess that hopefully reins it all in for us, but we,
sometimes
she tries.
I try.
Look, I've seen that girl go off on a tangent too. So
that's right.
She fits right in.
We all lucked out there, didn't we, Brock?
I can tangent.
That's right.
I can tangent with the best of them. Exactly.
There you go.
I was going to bring this up though. When we were talking about I meant to tell you, we did pick up a little bit of swag when we were there.
Oh yeah, those are brand new.
We got the little stickers. There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Meet me at the Alabama.
Sweet.
There's also a matching poster and a matching T-shirt.
Yes.
From that. That's a very new graphic, and those were brand new for that movie.
Who did that artwork?
I don't know.
And
that is.
Oh, pen.
pen.
Oh, yeah, that's my
Yeah,
style.
Bo, there's
that's
pens.
going on my backpack. 100%.
Yeah, there's a lyric one as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's horizontal, and the Alabama, of course, is the vertical.
Yeah.
I don't know who did that. Our Miss Mullins is in charge of all of that, and her able-bodied next sweet neighbor, Caitlin. They do amazing stuff like that up there, and
we got the window clean too.
Yeah, window clean.
Yeah.
There's.
Yeah, I don't have anything on my car. I've had my car now for 4 years, and I've not put anything on it. That Alabama window cling is going in it.
Yeah,
Nice.
there you go. It was a vanity license plate for your front that was there for a minute that had that "Meet Me at the Alabama."
Oh, okay.
Those were very short-lived. I don't even have one of those.
Collector's item.
They
Wow.
are I know one of our Alabama Theater Organ Society members has one. I may sneak over and just zip and take it off the front of his car.
Gary, what are you doing?
Mine.
Where'd you get that, Gary?
Found it.
Found it.
It already has bugs
eBay.
on the front of it.
The answer is always eBay.
There you
There
go.
we go.
I do
Facebook
love the
Marketplace.
Meet Me at the Alabama design. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I love that design.
I'll see if I can find out who actually is responsible for that. But I'm going
I
to
don't
blame.
know.
I'm going to blame Miss Mullins and
Because I know you guys have used like local artists for stuff like that. In the past, too.
yeah.
So
Yes.
I know quite a few artists through other folks in Birmingham. So I was wondering if it was like going to be name dropping somebody that I'd heard of before.
No,
But, yeah, I'd love to know.
I'm pretty sure that they did not do this, but a lot of our stuff has always been designed by Yellowhammer Creative.
Yellowhammer.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And so those guys though have gone sort of in a different direction currently, and they're doing less and less of the types of things that we do, and then of course we're not doing as much, especially in the summer, as we have in the last few years. This past summer and this summer, we're taking some much needed time to do some serious upgrades in preparation for the 100-year celebration. So if that's not a segue, I don't know
That's
what
right.
it is.
Segue right on to that film series right there.
Yeah.
So
Because
do you want to talk about film series first, or do you want to talk about the summer upgrades this go round?
Ooh. I want to talk about the fireworks.
On the left swing out tray, launch 1 and launch 2.
All they flip up red buttons that you flip it up and then you hit the
Yeah.
toggle.
Oh yeah.
And then toggle. Yeah.
It's all very James Bondish, you know.
Yeah. Like
It has
Airwolf
to be a
or
row
something
of
like
them.
that.
So you go flip,
Yeah.
and then toggle.
Gosh.
Well,
Well, let's the summer film series has been like we said earlier, greatly reduced because of what's going to be happening. So
Yeah.
you're only showing 2 movies this summer. You've already shown 1.
Yes. So last summer we took the entire summer off and we showed 0 movies.
yeah.
And boy howdy, that created quite a stir. So this go round, we said, well, we've got this block of time. The upgrades that we're doing, the projects that we're doing aren't going to take as much time as last year. So we thought we could get these 2 movies in, and I hesitate. There is a potential of dragging in a 3rd movie in August. But let me tell you what's going to happen this summer. We first of all, we showed last Friday the Goonies. And that was so much fun. What an enthusiastic crowd. They were there. And we can talk about the Goonies all you want, but I love the Goonies. You see so many elements of things to come with Spielberg movies, Spielbergisms.
Right.
And it's just a great romp to be able to sit back and watch. And yeah, is it a product of its time? Yes, very much so. Is it that that whole mid 80s thing? Yes, very definitely. And I love it. And then of course, and we knew that would be well attended, and it was. And then of course, the 27th of June, we've got Grease right over your shoulder there, Jess.
That's right.
And Grease is always a crowd pleaser. And when we were first showing Grease, we were just showing what I call the standard straight Grease. And of course, everybody sings.
Right.
So a few seasons ago, we said, well, why don't we try this? Why don't we try and do the sing-along version? And that has been the greatest thing that we do. And so that one Grease sing-along, when there's a song on the screen, the lyrics appear across the bottom.
Right.
it's not obtrusive or distracting, and everybody knows those songs anyway. So
Yeah.
it just makes it a lot of fun for everyone. So we did Sing Along Grease, and that was such a success. Then we subsequently did a few years ago the Sing Along Mamma Mia, and then carried it over to Christmas, so that one White Christmas is the Sing Along White Christmas. And you would think that that's just so corny, except when you get White Christmas Sing Along, when you get 2,000 people singing,
Yes,
any of
it's amazing.
I mean, we've got people standing in the aisles doing the sisters routine, and
Nice.
It's a romp. It's so much fun. We really enjoy that. So those two movies we're doing, and then right after that we're having Brad Williams, the Growth Spurt tour, on July. I think that's the 12th. I have to look here real quick. I should have been more prepared. Yeah, that's Saturday, July 12th. And then on Sunday, July 13th, we go down. And I mean like power down.
Like you pulled the plug, it's
The
down.
plug, it's
Depressurizing.
So here's what's happening during that downtime for the 2 weeks in July into the 2 weeks in July into the first parts of August. In 1927, when the building was built, Alabama Power dropped that quadrant of power distribution into our basement. Now, why, I don't know. But if you go backstage, there's a basement, and then there's a basement below that, and then there's another basement below that, and then there's a room below that.
Oh wow!
Good
So we
Lord.
got levels. We got levels and
It's-
levels here.
Paris Opera House, Phantom of the Opera levels. So there's a room, and I call it the Room of Death, because it is. And trust me when I tell you, we have this thing so sealed off and secured. It's hard for us to get in there, because if you go in that room, there's several things. One is there's 440 volts coming in to the building. I can't even guess or imagine. I know someone who could tell us how many amps are flying around in there, but here's what I can tell you. That is the break off for the grid for the rest of the surrounding areas. When it goes down, everybody's going down. Pizitz, McWayne, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay.
And so why it's in our building, I don't know. It just, I guess, was logical at the time, and they did it because they could, and whatever. So here are a couple things about the room. Number one is everything is exposed. So if you were to touch
Kevin,
I could charge my car on that room. Nice.
if you were to touch something in there, you would never know it. It's just, it would be over. When you go in, if you have like earrings, jewelry, or a tongue piercing, it vibrates. They vibrate.
Oh, wow.
It's that much craziness.
Whoa.
And that feeds up a level into the electrical room. And I promise you, I know I am prone to over dramatizing and over exaggerating something, but I promise you I'm not exaggerating one bit. And that is, it is the room where the switching is, and it's the old Frankenstein 3-pole switch.
Oh man. Oh.
And again. So those are currently when I first started at the Alabama, those were exposed, and you didn't take anybody into that room. And only recently, very recently, have they been enclosed in a plexiglass cover. So if you were to accidentally fall into it, you would hit the plexiglass, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, as opposed to previous to that, it literally was the end of the world for whoever happened to be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of that, some may say regrettably, all of that is coming out, and modern switching is going in, everything up to code, everything very, very modern electrical switching, so that the power distribution now is 100% safe for anyone at any time. And I think that's a great testament to our board of directors and the executive management of the Alabama in something that nobody will ever see and nobody will ever know about unless they're tuned in here tonight. And nobody would really appreciate it, except it is a safety concern, and we want everything safe for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and I will say this: we don't borrow money to.
Yep.
Shane said, and someone just got the idea for their supervillain origin.
They're gonna drenched in some kind of chemical, then
Or-
fall into the electrical.
Or the next Mission Impossible movie.
I love it. But we don't borrow money to do these projects, these big projects. Last year's, this one, it's all paid for by butts and seats and concessions.
Yeah.
And a little bit of merch.
Fantastic.
A little bit of merch.
Yeah.
So you paid for it.
Right.
You funded it. They're right there. And we're lucky. And trust me, we never ever take for granted the fact that it could turn on a dime. We're so very, very lucky that we can fund these projects, pay for them outright. We're not having to borrow money, or we're not having to plead, oh, we need money for this, or, oh, we need money for that. Well, I mean, when was the last time you really heard us ask for money? We're very fortunate. We're very lucky. We don't take it for granted. All these things are paid for, and it's a pay as we go thing. Like we plan these things out. I mentioned that Miss Mullins is on vacation, and when she gets back, there is a big board meeting with her and the executive committee, and they're planning now the projects for the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
And just that amount of careful foresight and thoughtfulness for planning ahead.
Yeah.
It thrills me, because I know that as I age on up there, I'm still going to have a place to go to work, and you're still going to have a place to come and pipe organ to listen to. Oh my God, let me tell you this real quick. I ran into an old acquaintance that I hadn't seen in about 10 years. And I'm just not going to be indelicate about this. He is an opera snob, fanatic.
Okay.
And I ran into him, and he said, "Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you. How long has it been? 10 years?" And I said, "Yeah, I think it's been about 10 years. He said, "Are you still playing that old organ?"
Oh,
Bro.
he's still playing that old organ.
And all I could say back to him was, "Are you still singing those old tunes?"
Burn.
That did not go over well, and I was so smug and self-satisfied after that.
That will live rent free in your head for at least another 30 years.
Ever. So originally on my tombstone, it was going to read, "He had the right of way." But now I think I'm going to change it to, "He played that organ. He played that old organ."
Yeah,
that old organ.
And then you
That
can
old
take from that what you will. I mean, don't get me started on the organ jokes. How's your organ, Gary? Oh, it's big and red and huge. So, we can do these all night. Rises on demand.
It's okay, Brock. We're after the 7 minutes. We're all right.
We're talking about Big Bertha.
That's
right.
It's like,
Good Google's AI bot of that, huh?
right.
And Kevin, you mentioned the fireworks, but one of the reason the console got sent out was for mechanical upgrades.
Yeah, sure.
Which have been super, super helpful. And again, I would venture to say that most of the public couldn't see or recognize those mechanical things. As an organist, it's like getting a Buick Grand National. You're just like, wow, crazy.
Yeah.
But she got some cosmetic touch-ups, and there's a wonderful father-daughter team in northern Shelby County that does specifically Art Deco restorations. But he's like, I think we could tackle this. And he came in and you talk about a facelift. He did such an amazing job. And she's always been very, very photogenic. And even on the day that she went out, she was still so pretty in a picture. Now, that 10-foot rule, once you got up close, you could see a little bit of wear and tear.
Yeah.
Now that all that's been done, it is like factory fresh. It's just incredible, beautiful, beautiful work. And she glistens, and it's very aesthetically, it's very pleasing. So we got lots of good things going on there.
All the keys have a little more bounce to them now.
So that was phase one of the project. Was some rebushing of keys, leveling. You've got 4 manuals, 61 keys per manual, and you've got, believe it or not just the common suspects there that you would think would be worn out. Those things get worn out over time and decades of use. And I don't know if anybody notices or watches me play, but I am all over the thing. And you're not just there in dead middle C position. You are everywhere because it is a unit orchestra. Wurlitzer never called it an organ; they called it a unit orchestra, and you're there to make the orchestra come alive. So you're all over the place. And so after decades and decades of use, much of that needed to be readjusted, reworked, rebushed, refelted, whatever. There is a unique feature on most theater organs that Wurlitzer devised. It's called second touch. And what that means is when you press a key, it hits let me do this like this so you can see. When you press a key, it hits here, a stop, and it makes a contact. And whatever you have on first touch is playing currently. And then if you press a little harder, it presses through a spring onto a second set of contacts, and you get a second sound on top of. So it's great. It's great for doing counter melodies and post horn jabs and little glockenspiel tinkles, so that you can oh heavens, so that you can really have a lot of fun adding stuff that you normally when you would need a third hand, except your third hand becomes the second touch because you're pressing through. And if you rehearse enough and are patient enough and can work out enough, you can make it really effective. So that is the one thing that goes out of adjustment more than anything, because that's a very, I don't want to say cantankerous system. It's just it's very sensitive. Yeah. So needs adjustment. Look at him go.
I know. Look at that guy play that.
I know that guy.
He's everywhere.
Well, and I've it's been quite a few years ago, but I remember going to a concert where you actually had a guest organist there as well. That it was there and was playing some stuff as well. I forget what his name was, but he was amazing.
Yeah, it could have been any number of folks if it was a concert. Now,
it was a concert. Yeah.
So Tom Helms does Phantom of the Opera for us every October, the last Sunday in October. It's his original score. It is the 1925 Lon Chaney classic. Putting in a shameless plug for that, but the great thing about that is precisely and exactly why that organ was built and why that building was built. Right. Show the film, accompany the film with the mighty Wurlitzer. And then at Sidewalk, the incredible Nathan Avakian, for 4 years now in a row, and he's coming back again this year, does the International Youth Silent Film Festival. And Nathan has such a wonderful approach. He can take an old silent film and accompany it, and so that's the way it used to be. And now the International Youth Silent Film Festival, they create these 3-minute shorts, these silent shorts, and he accompanies those. Now the trick there is They are selecting a genre. He is presenting them with a score, and they create a film around the score. So it's actually done in reverse.
Oh, sweet.
So he's doing that. And then Nathan uses an incredible amount of studio technology to create rhythm tracks and orchestral tracks that he uses his iPad and plugs into the sound system. And so it's like Bertha and Friends at that point. So Nathan, whereas Tom Helms is absolutely flashbacking us to 1925, Nathan is flash forwarding us to 2025.
Okay.
And it's like the most incredible thing about that old organ is it can do today. Okay, here's a great example. The last Sidewalk, he did a solo number, and the first 3 notes in, I was like, oh my God, he's not. And he was doing a Britney Spears song.
Oh,
three notes. He's in 3 notes, and I screamed from the audience, "It's Britney, bitch!" You can see him up there going. So,
Gary, there's kids in here.
I'm sorry. You can censor me or X me out or never invite me back.
We got to keep Gary away from the Tito's for at least the first 20 minutes of the performance.
So my point is the organ is many things. It can do many different things, both ancient and future.
So the last thing I ever expected to hear come out of the Wurlitzer would be Britney Spears. I can imagine how you felt in that moment.
Oh, I goosebumps. It's incredible. It's incredible. And can it do it? Yes. Can it pull it off? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's all because Nathan he's a genius.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing.
Now you got to top that and do like 30 Seconds to Mars or something like that. I think that might actually top it.
I'm going to do Beyonce.
He says, I'm going to keep playing that old organ.
That old organ.
And we're going to keep one up at each other.
There you go.
That's right.
And now selections from Lemonade.
Now we'll be playing Fergie.
I mean, I think we need to start talking about Grease.
Let's do it.
We can talk about Grease.
Grease is the 27th, and it's the sing-along version, and we're looking for a wonderful crowd, and it'll be a lot of fun, and just come on down. Dress up. We had so many folks in costume, not last year, but the year before when we did it.
That's great.
The best costume. I've got to find this picture. I've got it in my phone somewhere. This lady, woman, girl, female, showed up, and she had. I'll come back to it. I asked her, I was like, "Where did you come up with this?" And she said, "I got every bit of this at the Dollar Tree." She had on an aluminum smock. She had aluminum curlers in her hair. She was a beauty school dropout. And
that is great.
It was perfect. It's like you couldn't have paid hundreds of dollars and come up with a better costume that she probably did for $12.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people, want to do Pink Ladies or the T-Birds, but that's unique.
A lot of Pink Ladies and T-Birds, and that's always great. And it's always fun, and you get groups of Pink Ladies, and that's awesome. But to get a beauty school dropout, come on, that's incredible.
Yeah, I always like the niche costume.
Yeah, something.
That they're just unique to something that not everyone is doing.
No, and I mean, who would have thought of that?
Right, exactly. I was going to ask you if people did show up and dress up and everything.
Oh yeah,
so that's
definitely.
That's good.
So grab your Pink Lady jacket or your Thunderbird jacket and come on. And if you're more clever than that, so much the merrier.
Absolutely.
And now we're going to have 17 beauty school dropouts, which I think would be a hoot and a half.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's a bad thing.
No, that'd be great.
Need to find.
We'll be having that one, and then Brad Williams after that, and then we take our little break to do all this fun electrical stuff and get all that switching brought up to much more modern standards.
Yeah.
So when you do take out the Frankenstein switch and everything, you guys are gonna have like a little museum area set up,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a pack rat by nature, and there's a lot of good fun stuff lurking about the building. We're loath to throw anything away. There are a couple of great storage areas. One in the first basement, and then one up on the 4th floor. There's storage up there that's got a lot of good fun stuff up there, and those are things you just really don't really want to get rid of. Now, I'll tell you this. There, back in 1998, when we did the first major restoration, they took the old Peter Clark lighting system out, and that was the Wizard of Oz control board with all the stuff that you cranked everything up and cranked everything down, and that actually got redistributed to 3 or 4 theaters across the nation that still utilized that system, had no plans to upgrade or no funds to upgrade. And so they were able to take and repurpose that equipment. So sometimes we let stuff go, but it's not going to the dump. It's going to be repurposed and used.
That makes sense.
So I think that's a great thing.
Nice.
We have there's a very bizarre, tight-knit group of theaters. There's an organization called the League of Historic American Theaters. How's that for a name?
Wait, it sounds like
everyone refers to it as LHAT, League of Historic American Theaters. And they have an annual conference that moves around. Several years ago, I got to attend, and it's just amazing because here we are in our little theater in our little town, and we think that we're just so alone in the world, and nobody has the same problems we do, and nobody does, have to worry about this or worry about that. And all of a sudden, you find out that there are hundreds of very, very small, very, very medium, very, very large theaters across the country that are in the same boat. And so I don't know if it's misery loves company, but the networking there is incredible. And so we have cultivated so many good relationships and friendships in nearby theaters and neighbors. We have some wonderfully fun friends in our sister theater in Tennessee, in Knoxville, the Tennessee Theater.
Okay.
And then the Tampa Theater, of course, the Fox Theater in Atlanta. And I mean, we talk amongst ourselves frequently. And of course, here's another thing too, is like if there's a touring show, what sold, what were the hot items at concessions, what you need to expect.
Yeah.
That's just marketing. That's super valuable. Yeah.
And the thing is, so many people are not willing to share that. And then you get this funky little group, and it's like, here, let me take my shirt off and show you everything. How much kilos we sold.
Okay. This is way more dramatic than I thought it was. I thought you guys
were Gary coming on. Gary.
I thought we were sharing numbers, but no.
I thought you guys were sitting around going, let's talk knob and tube wiring and asbestos.
Well, they're showing their knobs.
And tubes. So you do find out what's going on in different markets, and that old adage, will it play in Peoria, or whatever that old saying was. You do find out what is hot currently, and all of a sudden you're seeing a movie that will rotor through, and I know right now in the Southeast, Grease is big.
Yeah.
And again, we're back to because it puts butts in seats.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's what we're there for. And I wax on about the olden days where we showed several obscure movies as part of the summer film series, and we can't afford to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It would be lovely to show X, and it would be lovely to show Y, and it would be wonderful to show Z, but if they're not breaking even and making us money, we can't continue doing that.
Yeah.
And
Understandable.
that's why, again, we're never ever going to take for granted the holiday film series, because that thing is just, it has a life of its own.
Yeah.
And we really try not to tamper with it. And we get accused sometimes of being repetitive and showing the same old things over and over, except we've tried several times to throw something in new and try something different. And
but evidently, I mean, people keep coming back.
You guys better not get rid of Die Hard. Okay.
No, he won't.
We talked about Die Hard at the last broadcast. We will never get rid of Die Hard. That's just
sweet.
That's the craziest movie we show. I love it, and everybody loves it, and it's insanity.
Yeah, and I as much as, and I think it's just this whole, like you talk about the old theaters. I don't know what it is, and it's just, I guess, the nostalgia part of it. But I love coming into those environments, these historical theaters, these historical places that, Alabama's almost 100 years old. It's just, I cannot describe it, but when you walk through, when you get inside that building, you just feel, it just hits me in the feels. I just feel a certain way.
It's the aura.
It's the aura. It's got an aura.
There's an energy, and it has a tendency to do a couple of different things. One is it will transport you to a different, I don't want to say dimension or realm, but it takes your mindset and places it in a different place. Yeah. And then
looking around at the decor and the decor, it's just like I can sit there and look at it and then see something. I always see something I didn't catch before, and I'm always looking for that too. It's just taking it all in. The beauty of it.
I'm there every day, and I cannot tell you how many times I will see something that I have never seen before. And if I'm there every day, I can imagine if you're visiting on a fairly frequent basis that you see something.
Yeah.
And most of it is just right there in plain view, except there's a lot going on.
I love old architecture and things like that. And it's the perfect. It's like I said, it's like the aura. That's the best way to sum it up. And then when you play, movies like Grease, it still touches that, part of, a younger part of you that, you get caught up in everything in your adult life and the frantic and the anxieties of an adult and the things you do. But when you can go and just take a moment and go to a place, nostalgia is just all around you. It's just surrounding you. And you feel good in that moment. You're able to escape. You're able to have a release and just enjoy those moments that you.
It's a great brain break.
It is. It's a fantastic brain break. Exactly.
Hey, I do have a marketing question.
Sure.
I was super curious about this the last time I was up there. You guys had added an extra concession area down in the lower area, down by the restroom, like right next to the restroom. Which I mean, that's awesome. It's down there. I was wondering how successful that was. Did that actually work out well for you guys?
So first of all, I'm going to correct you. Okay. It is not next to the restroom.
Okay.
It is inside the common lounge, the lounge that's between the men's lounge and the ladies' lounge. And then beyond that is the restroom.
Yes, there is a barrier.
Okay. I am very sorry.
Gary's wanting to let you know they're not selling mixed drinks right by the bathroom door. That's what he's telling you. Health codes.
When you come, that common lounge was designed in 1927 so that either courting couples or dating couples or whatever, married couples, whatever, that is the point where you come into the common lounge and you break off, and the gentlemen would go to the gentleman's lounge and the ladies would go to the ladies' lounge, and then they would wait there for their opportunity to go into the actual restrooms proper and do their business and come back out. The ladies' lounge has extended lounge area that's a powder room. So they could do that. And then you come back out to the common lounge and go back upstairs. And so
how did it do? That's okay. Now that we got the correction, how did it do?
Logistics are out of the way.
Years ago, I wanted to do this, and our previous front of house manager was like, "You're not putting liquor and selling cocktails down in the bathrooms." And I said, "No, I'm not." And I tried to explain to her, "This is
the same thing he just said."
It's the cycle.
No, wait.
And
That's
out.
the lounge, okay?
common lounge. So recently, we revitalized this area. So let's take a sold out show. For example, we have the main bar, and it has 5 stations, and then above that is the mezzanine bar. It has 2 stations, and above that is what we call the balcony or dress circle bar, and it has 2 stations. And that bar is in the elevator shaft. It was supposed to have been originally in 1927 the top of the elevator.
Oh, okay.
And in 1927, several things happened. They were running way over budget and way out of time. They built the Alabama in 8.5 months. That's from the first shovel of dirt, groundbreaking, to the doors opening. 8.5 months.
Wow.
We can't get permits in 8.5 months.
Yeah. Right.
And so a couple of things happened that they said, well, we need to cut this from the budget. We need to cut this out. So the elevator got nixed. So the handicap restroom on the ground floor, that is the ground floor elevator entrance. And then the Coca-Cola syrup room below that is the basement. And then when you go up to the mezzanine level where the offices are, that was the mezzanine port of entry and exit for the elevator. And then you get up to the balcony bar, and that was the top floor. And that never happened. And so that got built into a 2-station balcony bar. And then even above that, in the what we call the loft, which is the room, which is my favorite room in the building, by the way, because the view looks out onto 3rd Avenue, and you've got the vertical right here in your face, like the big A is right here at you. And if any of you have never been there, please let me know the next time you're there, and I'll take you up there. It's phenomenal. And so that room also has now a 2-station bar. And the whole point of this is, if you've got that many people, you need to distribute them throughout the building. And so a couple of things. One is there's always going to be a line at a sold out concert or a sold out movie. I'm sorry, there always is. Unless you have 2,000 bartenders for 2,000 people, you're going to have to wait. It's true of anywhere, anytime. What I want to see, and this is what I want to know, is that line moving? And if it's moving, then it's going to be a line. I don't care. If it's moving, I'm happy. And when you distribute people throughout the building, that really gives you a great opportunity. In the days prior to the restroom expansion renovation, which happened in 2020, you would have a line going down to the ladies' room. It would go all the way into the ladies' lounge, into the ladies' powder room, into the ladies' restroom, and back all the way up to the staircase. Now, I don't want this to be sexist or anything like that, but it just takes ladies a moment longer than it does gentlemen.
No, that's true.
In general,
that's facts.
Because there's more to do, and let's face it, I can walk out to the alley and come back in, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Ladies don't have that opportunity, or nice ladies don't.
Yeah.
So what would happen is, as a couple, you would go down, and ladies standing in line, and the guys are there. Now, guys, your lady's in line to use the bathroom. You do not leave.
Yeah, of course.
There's none of this, I'll meet you upstairs. No, sir, you'll stay right here until I'm done. And I was like, what if we could sell a beer or two while they waited? And
they're going to be so drunk when they come out.
So here's the marketing plan. So you've got someone there, and they're waiting for their party to reconvene.
Mhm.
And it's like, hey, you want to get a drink? Well, don't you want to get her one too? And then, of course, he's standing there with two. He's going to drink both of them.
Go
And
back to the restroom.
Yeah.
Go back to the restroom. and so that one bartender with that one station will do with a very, very limited menu. It's a very small, very limited, top 10, top 20 items.
Right.
Not a full menu, just
grab and go.
Grab and go.
Yeah.
That one bartender will do generally as much or more than the number one station at the main bar. And so now
I believe it.
You want to get our Miss Mullins excited and make her do this. She's a numbers gal, so I show her the numbers. Here they are. That bar far exceeds any expectation.
Yeah.
And it is, and so I laugh and joke about it. Yes, it is a great marketing thing, but we always go back to patron satisfaction. And that is one thing that we found, that the perception of that is that we're really trying really hard, and we really are, to make sure that everybody's getting served.
Right.
And honestly, the original concept of that was, maybe we just do water and maybe some popcorn. I just want a bottle of water, and I don't want to wait in this line with cocktails. And all of a sudden it became that top 12, top 20.
Yeah.
So that is the story of the lounge, the common lounge area. We call it a mini bar. Mini bar.
Yeah.
I think it was a great idea, especially
brilliant.
During the holiday season, the holiday film series. You got opportunities. You just want to grab this really quick, and
I just need this core product really fast.
So hitting back on your logic, though, do you have guys stumbling upstairs trying to get back? No, we give them the water we were talking about. Come on, man, get with it.
We never overserve anyone.
That's right.
Now, what your friend does with it, I can't tell you. The same concept applies at the Lyric. I don't know if you've been to a show at the Lyric, but there's the main bar there, and then if you're going up to the balcony, there was this crazy little utility closet, and I'm standing there going, wait a minute.
Hey, there's a space there.
There's an empty space there that's not being utilized. And so we created what we call the disco bar up there, and we outfitted it with a disco ball and lights.
Oh, nice.
And it is a disco mini bar. And it is a limited selection, the hottest items. And of course, demographically, we changed that menu based on the type of show and the type of audience that we're expecting.
Right.
And this goes back to sharing information with our sister theaters.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what to focus on up there. And again, that one disco bar with one bartender will do as much or more than the number one selling bar at the main bar with a full bar.
Did you guys pick up that idea from other theaters, or have you just kind of shared that with other theaters? Like, be looking for broom closets you're not using and convert them into disco bar.
I generally always give credit where credit is due, but those are mine. I don't care. Mine.
Have you shared that with other theaters, and have you seen there's been adoption in other theaters as well?
You can do this. You can let me tell you, that elevator shaft bar when I took over concessions was still raw concrete from 1927. It had never been finished out. It was hideous. And it had been, somebody over the years had painted the walls this hideous blue. We called it the Blue Room. It was the ugliest place on the planet. And I'm standing there going, now wait a minute, there's an empty room going right to the balcony. So
It was blue. You had that moment you could have made at the TARDIS from Doctor Who.
There's nothing in the Alabama theater that is blue, and why that room got painted blue, I don't know. Everything is red and gold and green. Those good Spanish, Moroccan, Moorish colors, and how that wound up blue, I don't know. But now that go walk up there next time. Walk up there to that bar. it may not be open for Greece, but it's still there and intact, and I can walk you up and show it to you. It's just
Cool.
it's beautiful. And we only and there's a rhyme and a reason to which bars get opened. As you hit certain numbers, you're always going to start out at the main bar, and then as you hit the next number level, you're going to open the mezzanine, and then you're going to open the balcony, and then you're going to open the loft, and then we open the lounge bar downstairs.
Yeah.
Brock really appreciates being able to get his Die Hard eggnog really fast.
I know, right? And there again, the concept of us serving eggnog was so foreign to everyone. And last year was the not 2024, but 2023 was the first season. And I talked to my rep and I said, look, I'm willing to try this. I'm willing to do this. Can you help me out? As in, like, I don't want to be stuck with 18 cases of eggnog at the end of it.
What are we going to do with this eggnog?
But it's perfect for the Christmas. It's absolutely perfect for the holiday season.
Well, we ran out that first season, and I was calling the rep going, is there any more floating around in the city? Because it's an allocated item. You have to order it in May.
Right.
And, it's just, they produce it and then they send it out and then it's done. And he was like, hang on, I'll check. So that rep, Ulysses, was driving around 6 counties, gathering up a case here and a bottle there for us.
And because it's like, even at the grocery stores, it's like, we've got it. It's here right now, and then when it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
We're not restocking.
So that Christmas eggnog is a hit.
Yeah,
it's good.
All right, so
understandable.
Kevin, here's a great story. I always share because this is 100% purely not me. I stole this idea shamelessly and give them all the credit that credit is due. But has anybody been to the theater and had one of our little fruit and cheese boxes?
No.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Jess only ever gets popcorn.
Well, I had 2 boxes at Goonies, by the way. It was fantastic.
It's the world's best popcorn.
It is wonderful.
We'll talk about that in a moment too. So the little fruit and cheese box, it's a little clam with 3 different cheeses, and it's got red grapes and white grapes and apple slices and crackers and strawberry and if we can get them, which is hard to do, believe it or not, dried apricot. And
I can eat healthy there.
It's crazy, but we sell a gazillion of them. We really do.
Hey, you should add blueberries to that.
Nah, you got the blueberries
in season. I'll tell you the other night at the what was it? Black Jacket Symphony at the Alabama. By God, we did a blueberry bramble, courtesy of Uncle Gary. So,
no.
The fruit and cheese came from a trip that I took to New Orleans, and it was the summer that the Sanger Theater reopened after Hurricane Katrina, and they had done that multi-million-dollar restoration. And Wicked was playing, and I've seen Wicked, 100 times. And so I went to the box office, and I got up to the ticket booth, and I asked the lady, I said, look, I'm from out of town. I'm not here to see the show. I'm really here to see the restoration of the building. Can you just please sell me the cheapest ticket, regardless of seating or obstructed view or whatever?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, honey, sure, blah, blah, blah. And she got me in on some ridiculous ticket price because I wasn't going to stay for the show. And I went inside, and I was just admiring the theater and admiring the beauty. And of course I was, it's me and it's New Orleans. And so I got to have something to drink.
Of course. Yeah.
And I get up to the bar, and I'm standing there, and I'm just going to order my standard stock stuff. And I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, and it has a little fruit and cheese thing. And I'm like, what the fudge. I didn't say fudge. And I thought, well, I've eaten already. I don't want this. And so I bought one and I took it and I deconstructed the thing there in the lobby and took 400 pictures. And
he did an unboxing episode
from the Sanger Theater in New Orleans and brought it to the Alabama. And now it is one of our top selling snacks.
Okay.
I'm trying this next time I'm there.
Yeah.
And we make them fresh the day of. We sell
sweet.
a boatload of them at Sidewalk. And it's just a good alternative to candy.
Yeah.
And it's just nice and something fresh, got fresh fruit.
And it's normally up there on the menu.
Yeah, it's on the menu.
I guess I'm focused on
never
the
seen that.
Popcorn's on my brain because the smell of the popcorn. Yeah.
I know.
I am getting that. I'm definitely getting that next time we go. Yes.
It's fruit and cheese tray and eggnog, Brock. There you go.
There you go. No, well, that's a Christmas.
I'm for it. I'm all for it.
So we talked about, Jess, you got 2 boxes of popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we pop that corn in house.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, and these are decisions that we consciously make. In the world of popcorn, if you could possibly imagine, there are about 9 different grades of corn, of kernels of corn that you can purchase. From the absolute rot gut bottom cheapest thing that you can possibly produce and put out the door. And
I've had some of that. Yep.
Yes, you have. Thank you, Shane. And so we have always opted for the highest level premium grade corn. It comes from Gold Medal, and it's called Maxi Pop, and it is the nicest corn. It's all that good fun stuff, you know, non-GMO.
You can tell.
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then there are about 6 different grades of popping oil, and we always opt for the best oil, which is called Tasty Pop. And that and a little bit of Flavacol, and you've got magic, and it's all popped fresh.
I love this behind the scenes info on the popcorn. I do.
And there are we have the old machine that we've had there forever, and we use it at Christmas because we have to run 2 machines at Christmas. And then we have a nicer, newer, higher capacity machine that we're currently using that really just pushes out the corn.
Yeah.
And so a lot of folks are like, well, gosh, Gary, what are you going to do when the building doesn't have electricity for these 4 to 6 weeks in July and August? And the answer is we take and we completely and totally disassemble that popcorn machine. Now, it gets cleaned on a regular basis. Health inspector, Jeff Coe, blah, blah, always says. During this downtime, it gets taken down to, the raw base, as disassembled as it can be, and scrubbed and cleaned thoroughly.
A deep sanitation.
Yes, a deep clean.
Yeah.
And I always think that it's the thing to do, but I'm also like, should we really do that? Because it's like a grill, you know, if the grill
seasoned.
too good,
it's
not as seasoned.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll tell you this: ice machines.
I'll mess around with that. Yeah.
Well, we have multiple ice machines throughout the building, and they're cleaned on a rotational basis. Meaning, trust me when I tell you, you can trust the ice at the Alabama and the Lyric Theater. There is no bio slime or anything growing there. I'm not going to mention any names, but our Jefferson County health inspector said this is one of 3 places in this city that I will actually use the ice from.
Wow. Yeah.
Our team is so, just conscientious of the fact that these are the things that need to be cleaned on a regular basis. And then you do these big, massive cleanings.
The amount of people that don't realize that if you buy one of those little ice machines or whatever in your home, they don't realize you need to clean them.
Yes.
I'm like, do you not understand all the stuff that's in water? That could just get nasty, and not just that, but everything that gets, it's gross.
It is, and it's not just what's in the water; it's what the water will grow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so we're very conscious.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, that's something I'm kind of proud of. That
course.
that I work in an environment that I know that everything I touch and eat is safe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got good folks there that get that. No hands in the ice.
Well, I'm not coming anymore. Dang it. Cool.
Yeah, we've got one of those little ice machines. We clean that thing all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there are solutions and sanitizers that you can use, but I got grilled by the health department. How are you clean? What are you cleaning this with? And I was like, oh my God, I'm about to confess something, and I'm either going to get written up or hugged.
Shut down.
The shutdown. Historic theater closes due to
ice issue.
Ice issues. What are you cleaning this with? And I said, well, I clean this like my grandmother cleaned, and that's with distilled vinegar.
Mm. Hey, keep
Because
that vinegar.
golly, that will kill everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So we take the machine down, let it melt down, clear it out, and then I'm literally inside the thing every cubic inch with distilled vinegar, and we start with a little Dawn, but then it gets the vinegar treatment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn makes everything better, it makes everything clean better.
Yes. All the ice bins up front where you get your cocktails, all those get cleaned out with vinegar, and I got the hug is what I got, which is what I wanted.
It's becoming a lot more obvious why they give you a place to sleep there.
Yes. That's fine.
Gary, clean the ice machine.
Clean the ice machine now, stat. We got bio slime on level 7. No, but I just think with our team, I think we're proud of both theaters. We're proud of the environment. We're proud of, and not in a showy, prideful way. We're happy to share.
Yeah.
And we're back to patron experience. We want that patron experience to be good. And Brock, if you walked into my concessions kitchen, with a white glove, I'm like, come on, because I don't have anything to hide. It's all clean. It's all ready to go.
Well, I mean, and I've never, and anytime I've ever been there, I have never encountered anyone that represented the theater that wasn't positive, that wasn't jovial.
Yeah,
I mean, jovial, like they're like super happy to be there. It's not like going. And granted, I'm gonna might get us in trouble here, but like going to AMC and going to one of those theaters, and the kids you're like, can I get some popcorn? And they literally have the popcorn machine going back there, and they're like,
we're out. What?
Popcorn. I guess I should put some of that on. Oh wait, we got it going. Okay, give me just a minute.
I'm exceptionally lucky in that, and this is weird. Generally, in a restaurant or bar or concession environment, your turnover rate is fairly high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My turnover rate is nil. I mean, it is nil
because the Tito's.
It's the team. we have such an enthusiastic team, and they really work so well together. And here, I'm lucky in that for the first time, basically in my entire career, I'm in an environment where there's not one single solitary person that's coming in the door that I don't roll my eyes and go, ugh, ugh. I'm genuinely happy when everyone comes in. There's not a single person that I'm not unhappy to see. And
we've mentioned it several times, is that just the experience we get from the staff when we go, and it's top notch.
That's executive staff, that's concession staff, it's ushers, it's everybody. It was just we're all there with that common mission, that common goal, patron experience.
Exactly. And it shows.
Are we perfect? No. Is there room for improvement? Always. Do we listen to suggestions? Well, if they're not too terribly critical.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of our best suggestions come from patrons, and we really listen to everything and everybody. And I know I'm sounding very cliche right now, but trust me, I've had people that I've worked with where I see them walking down the sidewalk, and I literally cross the other side of the street so I don't have to pass them, and I just don't have to do that.
That's why you did that to me. Okay, fine.
It's like, oh God.
Well, I was glad that y'all showed Goonies and we got Brock a chance to go see Goonies for the first time.
Yes, first time Brock.
That was on his movie list. So if you've been keeping up with the podcast and Brock's movie list, you can put a check mark by Goonies. Brock has seen
Goonies has been seen and in the best possible environment.
So your thoughts of the movie?
Loved it.
Oh, we need to hear it.
Loved it.
What's your favorite part?
Oh, golly.
It has to be one. What was your favorite?
Yeah.
The absolute favorite. And why was it the truffle shuffle?
I'm a sucker for Rube Goldberg machines.
Yeah.
That was really cool, wasn't it?
I'm a sucker for those. I can't tell you how many videos I've watched online. So seeing them, open up the gate for him in that manner was really, really fun for me.
How excited he gets when it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the reaction of the kids when they first see the pirate ship, I don't know the backstory of everything, but Jess leans over and she said that was their honest to goodness reaction seeing it for the first time.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I couldn't wait to kind of, put that little piece of trivia in his ear once it happened,
Yeah.
I love things like that.
So,
sweet. So what did you rank the movie like out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I give it a solid 8.5.
That's fair. That's very fair.
That's very fair. Yeah.
I really liked it.
It is a product of that era. It is very 80s.
But that's my favorite time.
Yeah. And as we said, you get to see a lot of Spielbergisms as they're coming into play. Here, my mom last night. It's like 10:23. I am dead to the world, and she texted. And of course, I put my phone on silent when I go to bed, but she has an override so she can, in case something's happening. She's 91, and she texted me last night. It's 10:23, and she said, "I'm watching Temple of Doom."
Yes.
Yeah.
Short round.
So apparently, Temple of Doom was on last night on some streaming platform, and she was so excited.
Yeah.
To watch that, and that is a great, perfect Spielberg-esque.
I know
it has all the components.
Made me think this is kind of a little fun trivia also for you, Brock. Neat thing about it, of course, was it Ma Fretnelli? How you pronounce it? Is it Ma?
Yeah, Fratelli.
Okay.
The Fratelli.
Our good friend, that was one of the little things in Ghostbusters, one of the Ghostbuster comics. Dan, he did a little like a quick scene like that. Everybody always wondered where was Winston during the courtroom scene. Well, he was chasing the Scoleri brothers' mother, who looked like Ma Fraternelli. So that's kind of a neat little thing he did. That's his little throw into the 80s. I always think about that.
That's
awesome.
Great.
That's a great hat tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. The night before we went to see the Goonies at the Alabama, my son, I went and got him. So he was here a day early and he had never seen Encino Man.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
So we introduced him to Encino Man. We introduced him to Encino Man, and it's just it hit me. Okay, Sean Astin's in that.
Yes.
Kequan, what's his name?
Yeah, Kequan. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in there. And so we get over to see the Goonies, and I'm elbowing, and I'm like, "You saw these guys last night, and then Encino Man." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. We
I've
was
seen that movie in so long. Now you're going to make me go drag that thing out.
Oh, it's
on YouTube.
Yeah, we found it on YouTube.
Well, I have it on Laserdisc, Jess.
Right, Laserdisc. Yes. But I was really glad that Brock got to check that off of his bucket list. And
Yes.
I told I made the joke to him. I was like, if you didn't catch that line of dialogue, just ask me. I'll tell you what they said. I could sit there and almost quote that movie.
Recite.
Word for word.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
So Shane says, what about the Goonies Jurassic Park connection?
I'll have to show you that. There's a
Okay.
little meme kind of about that. So I'll show you kind of how.
Steven Spielberg?
Well, but there's certain elements of clothing that they're wearing that directly ties to Wayne Knight's character in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
So, yeah. There's kind of like they've made like a Goonies Jurassic Park connection in that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Shane also says the start of the Link trilogy of movies. Yep. When Brendan Fraser, whatever, I heard him correct somebody sometime. But yeah, it started off Encino Man. Then he's in Son-in-Law.
Mm-hmm.
And then where am I missing?
Did he show up in Biodome, maybe? I don't know. Did he show up in Biodome? I haven't seen Biodome, by the way.
What about Son-in-Law? That might be Son-in-Law.
What was the one where the family in the bunker, they think it's in the
Blast from the Past?
From the
Past.
Past.
Yeah, I loved that. That was a lot
in
of
the Army now.
In the Army now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And guys, it's weird. You look and we're in 2025. They've announced that they're doing Goonies 2.
Mm-hmm.
And just the other day they announced that we're getting Spaceballs 2.
That still blows my mind.
That blows my mind. I never in my life would have thought we'd have gotten something like. I mean, Goonies 2. That's something. But
they're rebooting Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
What the heck, man?
Nostalgia.
I'll be watching.
Oh yeah.
Man,
that's Bo's drug of choice.
Exactly. It's fun.
I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, Brock, man. That's that is a classic.
It's a good core 80s movie. I mean,
it's not Maximum Overdrive.
not everything can be Maximum Overdrive.
Not everything can be that good. Okay, come on.
Yeah, I had, like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of it off and on throughout the years, but I've never sat down and watched it beginning to end, and I loved every moment of it. That was that was so good.
Yeah,
so good. I'm glad we got to see it, and like I said, I'm glad we got to see it at the Alabama Theater. That's I tell you, being able to see it for the first time on the big screen 40 years later, and I mean, and we saw it, one day shy of the 40th anniversary.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was intentional. Yeah, right.
It tied together. Yeah. I told him, I was like, this is the first time that I've seen it, like, other than when I went to see it when it came out. This was the first time he's seen it on the big screen in, almost 40 years now. So yeah, it was amazing. It just, getting me right there in the feels. So yeah. But I mean, I wore my parents out on that movie. When it was available to watch at home, I wore it out. I just loved it that much. So
the old Betamax.
That's right. the Betamax. My uncle had a Betamax, by the way. We had the VHS, so we never went Betamax though.
Awesome. Well, I know we've been here for about an hour and a half, and we've absolutely loved hearing all the wonderful stories and updates and everything. We're doing Phantom of the Opera this year again.
Yes, the last Sunday in October, 2:00. Tickets will go on sale for that as soon as we get back from the uptick of the summer projects.
Yeah,
nice.
Always a great fun pleasure.
And then y'all have the Whose Line Is It Anyway show coming in November.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of great shows coming up in October and November. Fun stuff. Yeah. So be on the lookout.
And you'll be announcing the holiday film series before too much longer, right?
Before too much longer. We really like to get that in. Traditionally, when we were doing the summer film series, we would announce it at the first opening of the summer film series. And of course, now that we're doing these little projects, we will hopefully get that announced sometime in July. And I know it sounds silly and corny, but we want to get that out there because people plan. And they do these whole big family soirees. And I'm at the point now. I'm at the point now where I'm getting the grandchildren. Of these folks that have been coming. So it was, when I first started, it was parents and my contemporaries and or people that were just a little bit older than me, and then their kids and now their grandkids.
Yeah.
And it just is so meaningful to me now that I've got, parents, kids, grandkids, grandparents, and they're just, I've got one group that started out about 20, 25 years ago, and it was maybe 3 or 4 of them, and now they're up to like 40.
Whoa.
It's all family.
Yep.
And they're coming in mass. They're coming, all together, and it's just
building those traditions in your family and
traditions and so it's just so much fun to see those kids grow up. I love that.
Oh,
the only other Central Alabama entity that I know that has that same like needing to build is the Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum with their they do those trains where they have the Santa, and you get those as soon as they announce those things, they're sold out.
They're sold out
immediately. They're just out. And I know you guys get a lot of that as well. As soon as you announce them within a certain close amount of time, you guys get sellouts on a lot of these shows as well. So
last season, the first movie sold out within 36 hours.
Wow.
Yep.
National Lampoons.
That's insane.
Is it Christmas Vacation?
I'm not saying.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was Christmas
of course it's Christmas Vacation.
Come on, man. It was Christmas Vacation.
We really need to go see that at the Alabama.
I know.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
I would be on board.
That's
36 hours from the time they go on sale. So there you go.
Yeah. And of course we have multiple showings of that, but that's crazy. This was the first year this past December that we came so close to selling out that silly kids cartoon matinee. I mean,
wow,
really? And we're standing there going, thank you very much. Please come on in.
Right. Like you said, the butts in seats.
Butts in seats.
Cokes and popcorn being sold.
Cokes and popcorn. Tito's handmade vodka.
Booze by the bathroom.
Come on now.
Common lounge.
Which just happens to be by the bathroom.
Which happens to be by the ladies' lounge and the men's lounge.
I know.
I'm gonna go to my dying day defending that bar. I'm never gonna defend that bar.
No one on this
to prove it.
No one on this podcast is saying it's a bad idea.
No.
We're just talking about the proximity to the bathroom.
Exactly.
It's not a bad idea.
You got something to put in.
All bars are close
out.
to something. Yes.
That's right. Yes. It works. I was just curious how the sales are doing, and that sounds amazing. I mean, it's working.
Frightening. It's the Tito circle of life.
That's right.
Well, guys, this has been so much fun.
Of course. Always.
Yeah, we love you so much, Gary, and thank you for continuing to come on here, and we'll definitely have you back. One of our absolute favorite people. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more of Gary, give us a like, leave us a comment. If you're watching this after the fact, leave us. Tell us your favorite movie. What's an old classic movie that you would like to see at the Alabama Theater? Leave that in the comments if you're watching afterwards. And like I said, leave us a like. If you're listening to the audio version of this on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere, please give us we'd love a 5-star rating if you don't mind, and leave us a comment on there. Tell us what you think. And and don't forget BamaGeeks.com. That's the website that will be able to give you any information about the podcast. You get to see all the videos, listen to all the audio, see some blog posts. We might have some more things on there. If you ever want to leave us a voice message, down in the right-hand corner of that website, there's a little microphone. You can click that, drop us a voice message, and we might play it on a future episode. Social media everywhere. We are at Bama Geeks on Facebook. Make sure you check us out, the Bama Geeks Front Porch. We are all in there quite a bit, and we've got a good little community in there. And of course, thank you to our OGs, our longtime supporters through Patreon, Jamie and Mike and Darnay and Jack. If you want to see your name on that list, bamageeks.com/join. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate everybody just hanging out with us tonight. And we've had a good crowd, and we're going to have Gary back. Gary brings the people.
Absolutely.
Right,
So
man. We
much.
appreciate you.
And don't forget June 27th, the Grease sing-along. Are we going, Jess?
I would love to. Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
We go together like That's right. You're gonna sing. We go together.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Gary. And for Bo and Jess and Kevin, I'm Brock. We're the Bama Geeks. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks where we might be discussing another 40th anniversary of a little movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know, set in Hill Valley, California.
Mm-hmm.
We got a special guest for that one too, as of right now. So make sure you join us 2 weeks from tonight, and we will see you in the future.
Oh, bye.